Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 5th of April. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
Gary, here we go again. New month off and rolling. Rocking and rolling for the new third of the year, or new quarter of the year, January, February,
second quarter,
March.
Phil. Yeah,
second
you
quarter.
got there, worked there. Maths was never your strong subject at school. Not that it was mine either, but it is the second quarter. We're off and away. We are facing a new month with lots of opportunities and excitement and great offerings and sales and listings and some beautiful properties. But of course, we've started off April with one of the best homes that's ever been sold under the hammer in Caulfield North. Let's just get straight into it and talk a little bit about this property and how it rode. Because what a carnival that was, Phil.
Number 65 Howitt Road went to auction on Sunday at 3:30. Now, I know I'm prone to exaggeration.
Yes, you are.
But I'm thinking there was probably about 150 people at the auction.
Yeah, you probably are prone to exaggeration,
So
yes.
we had two coffee vans there, back to back.
Yeah,
we had
like a coffee van standoff.
Champagne, where we were selling the imported French variety.
Wasn't bad,
at great cost, although we did bill it to the vendor, of course. The vendor will be looking at their disbursement page going...
What's that $300 disbursement with the C on it? Yeah.
What are all
that's
those
not true,
items?
By the way. Yeah, that's not
anyway,
true.
we had three people put up their hands on that property, Gary, and it was sold to a lovely local family that had been in the market for quite some time.
They had.
So terrific to get that
Good
sold.
luck to them.
And that is now the second time we've sold that property.
The quote price, we won't talk about the sale price, the quote price is in the $6 million range,
yes.
Let's just say. So the price is undisclosed, but three bidders going for it, Phil.
And it was, of course, Gary, sold closer to the number 7 than the number 6.
I'm saying nothing, Philip.
Price is undisclosed.
Price undisclosed, but three bidders standing there in the $6 million plus range competing. So congratulations to buyer and seller alike. But look, I want to talk about something else because, I've always loved Bentleigh and I actually reflect back in our early years of business when we didn't do the same volume of sales. But I remember looking one time saying 25% of our sales the year, which whatever, 19 whatever, were in Bentleigh. So we've always performed well in Bentleigh. We've always sold well in Bentleigh. We opened up an office in Bentleigh for that very reason. But now, if I had said to you in 1992, we're going to sell in Bentleigh, we're going to sell the best houses in Bentleigh one day, and Phil, we're going to sell houses in Bentleigh for over $3 million, what would you have said to me?
I would have said, Gary, you can't sell a street at a time.
No, you would
have said, no, just one house at a time. Give me one house, not a whole street. So, yes,
well, have a look at this.
Tell us about $3 million,
well,
Gary.
You can tell us a little bit more as well, because you were at the auction, but 8 Wood Street, Bentleigh, sold for $3,281,000, not in the Mckinnon High School zone, I believe, as well.
Gary.
Doesn't have to be. But now we've got sales in Bentleigh and we are blessed, or maybe I'd like to think we have positioned ourselves well through our director, partner Leon Guzenfitter, to be selling the very best homes now.
I think the expression blessed is a little bit overdone, Gary, but there's no question. It's fortunate because, I don't believe you're blessed.
I think I'm blessed.
I think that you can be grateful for the fortunate life that you have.
Yes, indeed.
But given
For
the
the
fact that you're
wonderful
not
partners I have,
particularly religious, to carry on about how you're being blessed is almost a little bit disrespectful to those that do follow the letter of the scripture to the law, whatever your scripture is. Having said that, Gary, I did arrive. We had
on his own little tangent.
We had a twilight auction. I think it was last Wednesday evening.
Yep.
And I arrived. A lot of people, a sea of people. It's always good when it's hard to get a park in the street as an auctioneer.
Yep.
You hate being able to drive into a street 5 or 10 minutes before the auction. There's just parking everywhere.
Well, would you prefer, exactly. You don't want to be able to park out the front, do you, Phil?
Correct. Anyway, a lot of people there, Gary. Very, very competitive bidding.
Yep.
And that was a new record price for Bentleigh. And I agree with you. $3 million plus is now becoming
it's like no big deal.
Well,
another $3 million Bentley sale,
It won't be long before the 4 barrier is being well and truly thrashed. But it's amazing. Having said that, viewers, a beautiful house, beautifully built, beautifully positioned in the street, and really well looked after home.
And
so congratulations to the vendors and the buyers alike.
And shout out to Jan Dosen, our agent who handled the property, who did such a wonderful job, together with Leon Guzenfitter and Ben Asen.
I'll tell you one thing, Gary, about that auction.
You tell me one thing.
I'm going to tell you
one
thing.
Tell me
it's
one
going to
thing.
be a long thing, but it's going to be one thing.
Mate, it's going to be more than one
How
thing.
many bids do you reckon is in a typical auction?
Good question. Good question. I would say...
Just give me a quick number.
30.
30. So it's exactly the number I say.
Is that right?
20 to 30 is your typical bids at an auction.
Yep.
That auction, Gary, had over 200
Is that
bids.
right? Well, it was your only auction for the night. That's what'll happen.
Over 200 bids.
You set him out with the midweek auction.
Boy, oh boy.
No other auction, and that's what can happen. And by the way, long live the midweek auction, by the way. Even with daylight savings now, you know, people, we love those midweek auctions, and people are still a bit doubtful and dubious. And of course, in Melbourne, where people love tradition and they're scared to sort of go out of the box, the midweek auction vendors are getting a lot of reward, Phil.
Gary, they are. I'm seeing the midweek auction across a number of suburbs with a number of agencies now. I think we were probably one of the first to do it, if not the first. But having said that, we love it.
Well, we weren't the first. I'm going to challenge you.
I said
on that.
we were probably
we weren't
the
even
first.
probably the first. I'm going to cast your mind back to the early days of real estate, Phil, to the 1980s when we started.
But Gary,
no, let me finish here. The 1980s, there was no such thing as Sunday. Right? There was people didn't work Sunday. Sunday was a holy day, a rest day. You know, we used to finish work on Saturday and we had Sunday off. We'd frolic to the beach, we'd go to Luna Park, we'd do whatever we wanted to on a Sunday.
Never did
Sunday
that. We went to the market,
we went to the
Camberwell Market,
we
Victoria
worked
Market.
on Sundays, but there was no such thing as real estate on Sundays. It was not done. And we didn't start it, by the way. It started in Middle Park and St Kilda, if you remember. We won't say by whom, but... and then, of course... They did do auctions midweek in some areas, some places at that point in time. And then, of course, Sundays became rampant, so there were no more midweeks, and now we're back to midweek.
Long live the Wednesday, Thursday, twilight auction.
Hallelujah.
And I'm not going to let the absence of daylight saving stop me from holding an auction.
Keep going.
6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the
Midnight.
evening.
I want a midnight auction. I still want a midnight auction.
A lot of properties look good with that lovely dusk light or the softer light. And goodness knows you, Gary, look a lot better in the softer light.
I do. Although a bit spooky if the light's the wrong way. Philip, 37 Rosella Street, another one that sold with lots of activity there. Well done to Leo Samuel and his team selling that in Murrumbeena. A little bit of imagery there. Hey, I started off on Saturday morning in Edmond Street in Parkdale, and we love Parkdale. Parkdale, Cheltenham, Mentone, Howitt, give it to me. We love it all.
We are doing a lot of work down there, Gary.
And congratulations. Now, this home had never been sold before. It's in the same family. If you remember rightly, we attended a wedding in the back garden of this house.
We did. Was it that house, was it?
It was.
Wow.
I was best man at that wedding too, Phil.
I was the MC.
You were the MC.
Yep.
And 22 Edmond Street, Parkdale was sold for $1,510,000 with 3 bidders, 2 particularly going strongly out. So well done. Jeremy Rosen's had a great sale in Robertson Avenue, St Kilda. Phil, let's talk a bit about that property, because you know a bit about it.
Shout out to Jeremy Rosens and his St Kilda team who did a superb job there. That was the most magnificent home on a beautiful parcel of land with the most enchanting rear garden. But great job there by Jeremy. That went really well. And just cementing again our reach as an organisation to selling some of the best houses in some of the best suburbs.
Mayfield Street, Phil, that wasn't necessarily an expensive property in terms of some of the homes we sold, but still just as passionate and excited. You did a great auction. You had 1 foot inside. You did the hokey pokey at that auction.
I really did.
You had your left foot in, you had your left foot out.
There were people outside, there were people inside, and I had to gravitate between the inside and the outside. But I'm very good at coming from the outside to the inside.
You are the hokey pokey auctioneer.
No one quite steps in and out like I'm able to.
You did a beautiful job, Phil. Anyway, we sold it to somebody inside in the end. That was 2 at 25 Mayfield Street. Well done to Lisa Alberts and Lamore, who handled that sale. Sold for $903,000 in excess of its expected price, Phil.
Gary, we are the blocks of flats kings and queens of Melbourne.
Or however you'd like to identify.
We sold another block of flats on, I think it was on Thursday, 1A First Avenue, a block of 8 apartments, 4 2-bedders and 4 1-bedroom apartments.
You've got the configuration there sorted?
Actually, it was 3 1-bedrooms,
no, have another
1.5 bedroom, and 4 2-bedrooms.
He is a professional.
Sold.
He knew before.
Sold on behalf of a family who had held that property for decades.
Do I need to worry about you?
No, not at all.
Good. Okay, fair enough. Anyway, price guide was 2.6 to 2.86. We don't need to go into what price it sold for, Phil, but. Well done to buyer and seller alike, and thank you to the vendors for the opportunity. And again, we roll out the blocks, Phil. I remember, if we sold 2 or 3 blocks a year, we were still one of the busier agents. Now, some years we're selling 10, 12 blocks.
I think we're coming up to over 100 blocks.
Yep.
Must be 100 blocks.
Do you want to have a party? 100 block party?
A block party, 100 block party would be
100
lovely.
block party. We should definitely have a block party. Look, that's as many sales as we're going to summarise. Phil, we usually have the towers up. We usually have a big boast, a big noise, but we did pass in a few more than usual.
So let's just talk about that, Gary. Yeah. Is the market starting to settle?
Well, it's become select. The market has become and is select, Phil, and there is. We talked about what's hot. We had it as a heading a few weeks ago.
Yes.
But I've got to say the apartments have slowed down, and they're definitely affecting the clearance rate. There seems to be a little bit of hesitancy, and I think all of this stuff is going to get sold very quickly, and that's what generally happens. But the apartments have stalled somewhat. People are a bit hesitant, but the land, townhouses, houses on good blocks of land still selling well, and some things selling better than ever before.
I think Gary, what viewers need to remember is that markets don't go up exponentially every year
not
on
all
year.
The time. They don't.
If you look at the graph, it's a fairly straight line graph going up over time.
There's a few
but
little
there is
plateaus
these little ups and downs.
Yep.
Having said that, I think we're very well and truly now just in a plateau phase where the A or the A triple plus properties are still selling incredibly well. Yep. Everything else, I think, is starting to sell pretty much where we thought it was going to sell.
And I think what's going to happen is all of these apartments that are stalling, they're all going to get sold, and all of a sudden there'll be a shortage. We'll be looking for more. That's always inevitable. Phil, we have many auctions coming up this weekend. Can we review them?
Let's do it.
Phil, 30 auctions to review coming up.
The big 30, Gary, the big 30.
A big week ahead.
Just before we talk about that though, Gary, let's just talk, not that I want to give you necessarily any joy, but Carlton by 1 point. Wow.
I got to say, Phil,
more important than Carlton by 1 point, how is Carlton 3-0 at the start of the season?
That's unbelievable. I've got to say, I hope you don't mind, but I was a few minutes late to the Howitt Road auction and I'm watching the game, and of course Howitt Road auction starts at 3:30, and at 3:30 I'm just watching the last bit of the game, and it's like 6 minutes to go, and I'm going, I was torn, I've got to get the auction.
As you drove through the middle of the Howitt Road auction.
Well, luckily you started a little bit late, so I drove through the middle, but that was all okay. I got there for all of the action, but the most exciting match ever, and Carlton have been getting out to these leads, then they've been getting clawed back. Hawthorn got in front, of course, with a little bit of time to go, and Carlton just hung on by. Thank you to Jacob Wiedemann, who just got that fantastic mark and saved us. Phil, very exciting. And of course, Melbourne, no big deal, just keep rolling on, don't you? Have you won 3 out of 3?
We're 3-0.
But you don't even blink at that.
No. I watched the game.
Have you gone to a game this year?
No, I haven't, Gary.
No,
I haven't,
because
because
get to a game.
Oh, Gary, you know what? Who carries the load of this organisation?
Oh, I think Darren Krongol, Jeremy Rosens, Leo Samuel, Leon Guzman, Harry Lustig, Jenny Coy, Anthony Lee.
Have I been to?
Saying it's you?
Have I been to the football? It's like,
come on, that's not true. There's been night games. You can get there.
Well, you think I'm not having pre-auction meetings, Gary, and out there with the team, digging the trenches with the team?
Yeah, I think you're not. Yeah,
putting my head up and
I think you're not. I think you can get to some of those games. I've got to say, I did get to one game, a night game, when I saw Carlton last time. Actually, it was a long weekend. Oh, it was so exciting. Anyway, Blues
can we talk
celebrate.
about 30?
Well, you brought it up.
30 auctions.
Hey, before you go, long live the Twilight auction, Phil. And
what are we? But now it's a senior moment now, are you?
I think you need to worry about me. Okay, let's go. 3 auctions. We've got 30. We've got 3 of them midweek. Let's go to Stockdale Avenue, Bentleigh East, Phil.
Gary, a fabulous family home, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Also sits on a parcel of land that could be a dual occupancy site as well. So a wonderful property.
Wednesday 5:30, Phil. And Wednesday at 6:30, you're going to be at 5 Marlborough Country.
You've got to love this house as well. This is a spectacular renovation of a beautiful Edwardian home. So Edwardian picture-perfect facade, but a dramatic home inside.
We've made a lot of noise about this house in Powderham Road, Phil, due to go to auction on Thursday. There's some chance it could sell before, because I know there's a buyer saying, I want it now. But let's talk about
Viewers,
21
if you happen to be a student of the English language, I want to know how a property can be called Powderham. Like, what is the origins of Powderham?
Yes, I wonder how Powderham came to be, and in Caulfield too, no less. Yeah, so I'm not sure how that came around. What is Powderham?
Anyway, this Powderham property, Gary, is absolutely incredible. 5 or 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, off-street car parking, beautiful home in every sense, and probably one of the most dramatic entrance foyers that you're likely to see, together with a Port Douglas-style back garden and swimming pool.
Was there an area in Great Britain called Powderham, the the battle, the proud battle
I'm
of Powderham?
sure our educated and erudite viewers will know the answer to that question.
Because we've got Marlborough, Stockdale and Powderham all sound like battles of some past history. Anyway, that is a wrap.
Before we go on though, a shout out to my lovely wife Irene, who has gone from being Irene Krauskopf to Dr. Irene Krauskopf.
Yes.
Shout out to her.
I had a sore at the back the other day. I was going to go and see her. Do you think she can help me? It was in an embarrassing position.
There is no
see
question,
it.
Gary. As a doctor, she will be able to give you an opinion.
Are you going to be in the consulting room waiting?
A shout out to my lovely wife Irene, who has been awarded her PhD in a fascinating subject. And she has worked so hard to achieve that outcome. We went on Friday to the convention centre along with about 1,000 other people to see her wear her floppy hat, the PhD hat, to go up on stage. She sat on stage with the other PhD students.
She had the hat on?
She had the floppy
gown?
hat, yeah.
Was there gowns
and afterwards, I'll tell you something amazing. Afterwards, her professor, that was basically her mentor on the PhD, he came because he wanted to see her awarded the PhD.
Oh,
and I had a photograph of myself taken with a professor.
Okay. Well,
and I said to the professor, I've got to have a photo taken with you because I failed everything at school. So this is really good for my reputation. So, we will put out photos of me and a professor at some point.
Between you, so you could have been with the professor and with your wife, and you could have said, between the three of us, there's a very high IQ happening here. Between all three of us,
we could have
just
show that photo and we could just have a caption, pick the idiot.
Yeah. That's a very easy...
pick an idiot.
That's
right?
a very easy
test.
Game. Yeah. That's a very easily one test, that one. Yeah, spot the moron.
Idiots.
Yeah. Fair enough. The moron. Shall we move on?
We might put that up. We'll run it as a bit of a competition. If you can spot the moron in this photo, we'll give you something nice.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of gifts going out. I don't think we've got the budget for that. So we start off on Saturday, Phil. We've got like 15 different suburbs on Saturday. We are everywhere, and we're starting, I don't know how this is going to work, we're starting at 9:30 with me in Bentleigh East. Can you imagine me at an auction at 9:30?
That would be pretty clear. You'll go from cards to the shower to Bentleigh.
It won't be any sleeping, but I perform well on no sleep, so don't worry if you're the vendor of that property. I'm going to do my best for you, no fear. But 9 at 23 Elizabeth Street, Bentleigh East, a 9:30am auction.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, completely stunning in every possible way, Gary. Make your way to see Gary do a 9:30 auction.
It's going to be fun. We've got 4 auctions at 10:30. Philip, a busy time. We're going to be in Mckinnon. I've got the auction honours going from Bentleigh East around the corner to Mckinnon. I'll stop and have a coffee at Centre
Gary,
Road.
that is the most fabulous 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single-storey villa, and it is in the Mckinnon High School zone, so you'll have lots of interest in that.
Phil, we are going to be in Riddell Parade, also at 10:30am. You have the auction honours for that property.
Gary, this is apartment number 401, which I'm going to describe as a penthouse because it has the most incredible terrace. This property is magnificent. It's built by one of Melbourne's best property developers. This is the last one left in the building. It has an incredible terrace. It has city views, it has bay views, and it has the buzz of Glen Huntly Road underneath. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, security basement car park. Love that property.
That is the first of your 6 auctions on Saturday. And by the way, if you think 6 auctions is a big deal, Phil, I've got 6 auctions as well. So do you hear me complaining?
Well, Gary, this would be the first time in your life that you will have done 6 auctions, Gary.
I've done 6 auctions before as well. No problem. I did, I did it at a charity night.
You did 6 auctions over 6 weeks.
Exactly right. I did it. They haven't all have to be consecutive, do they? Same day. Phil, the Avenue, Jeremy Rosen's auctions at the Avenue Windsor, 1 at 24.
Gary, ground floor apartment with courtyard gardens, that's one to grab.
Leo Samuel in his hood in Murrumbeena Road.
Got to love that. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, secure basement car park, a brilliant building in a wonderful location.
I get the pleasure of auctioning Denbigh Road. What a great address, Philip. Going to be there at 11:30.
Shout out to my dear dad,
grew up there.
who wasn't born there, but he grew up in Denbigh Road, Armadale. Shame the family didn't keep the house, of course. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space. Denbigh Road is a fabulous spot.
And a fabulous property, Philip, is number 33 Barrington Street in Bentleigh East.
Gary, I'll dress up for this one because Barrington does sound so proper, doesn't it? So noble. Barrington.
Yes.
Philip Kingston of Barrington. But this is a beautiful house, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a very stately home, Gary.
4 auctions at 12:30, Philip, in Ormond. I have the auction honours in Glen Avenue, a great address at
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lock-up garage, Gary, courtyard gardens, parquetry floors, lots to love there.
Jeremy Rosens has his second auction for the day in his hood in Elwood, Tennyson Avenue.
Seriously cool looking property that. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and a massive courtyard garden. That is a fabulous home. And of course, Tennyson, Elwood, everyone wants to live in Elwood.
They sure do. All those. There might be someone that would prefer to live in Caulfield South, Phillip, in Bundeera Road. A great address, a great looking home.
Another beautiful home, Gary. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, beautiful off-street car parking, beautiful back garden. Everything about that home is stunning. And Leon Gusenfit has had the joy of being there, and I'm going to have the joy of auctioning that home.
You are indeed, Phil, but you won't have the joy of auctioning Henty Street, Murrumbeena, because Leo Samuel has that honour.
I tell you what, lucky guy, because that house looks incredible. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking. That is really the magic of the Edwardian and the post-Federation era. That style of home will never go out of fashion.
That is a beautiful looking property indeed, Phil. 1:30, we have triple auction action. We're going to be in Blanche Street, St Kilda. You've got the auction.
I'm looking forward to this one, Gary. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking for 2 cars, courtyard gardens, balconies. It's got everything.
Jeremy Rosens is hopping over to Ormond, Phil, to Murray Road, Ormond, at 1:30 p.m.
Gary, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, a lock-up garage, courtyard gardens, polished timber floorboards, a beautiful home.
Believe it or not, I'm going to be also in Murray Road, in Mckinnon, also at 1:30 p.m.
Gary, that is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plenty of off-street car parking there for 2 cars. That's great real estate.
And Leo Samuel has the auction honours of that one in Mckinnon. Phil, 2:30 p.m, triple auction action, Malvern Road, this fantastic apartment, this beautiful block, modern block, luxury apartment, huge spaces, great entertaining, wonderful terrace. Phil, looking
3
forward to
bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 car spaces. Gary, check out that herringbone parquetry floor.
Great looking home, Phil. 2:30 in Tarago, Crescent in Clayton South. Leo Samuel, he's a busy man.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, off-street car parking for 2 cars, and plenty of back garden
You're
areas.
auctioning a great looking property in Elmer Road, 254 Elmer Road.
Gary,
Sunday 2:30.
I'm going
Saturday
to have
2:30.
a quick coffee across the road at Common Room, which is one of my favourite cafes, and that is a stunning house with rear access for car parking. A beautiful, beautiful home.
3:30, we're going to be in Centre Road, Carnegie. Leo Samuel, busy man. He's auctioning, meeting Jack Slater at that property.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a lock-up garage, single-storey living at its finest.
It's Caulfield South, Younger Avenue, fine address. You'll be there at 3:30.
Gary, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, huge back garden, great location.
Our final auction at 4:30. Simon Riddell is handling this one in Centre Road as the auctioneer for Leon Gusenfit.
2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, lots to love there.
Sunday, Phil, we're going to be starting off at 11:30 a.m. in Nearham Road.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage. That's a stunning home, Gary. I love that location there too, because you can go to everywhere in Caulfield, but you've also got Carnegie on your doorstep.
You are off on Sunday. You've got a day off, Phil.
I am, Gary.
You've got a very happy family celebration, but we're covering you and Jeremy Rosens is auctioning this property in Hotham Street.
1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1 car space, beautifully renovated throughout. That's a really good entry-level marketplace buy.
At 1:30 p.m, Phil, I've got my auction on Sunday, my first auction, which I'm very excited about, Phil. This is 2 Denman Avenue. Now, this is a very spacious apartment on the corner of Denman and Hotham Street. There is a fabulous courtyard garden. It is a modern building with security parking. I'm meeting Maureen Mazaro for that auction, Philip. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and well priced in that mid-6s to low 7s. Come along and have a go at that terrific property. Huntley Street in Glen Huntley, Phil. Leo Samuel auctions at 1:30.
Gary, that's a great row of 2-storey terraces, and at the back of that, behind it, you can't hear anything, but you've got Glen Huntley Road behind that property. So you've literally got everything on your doorstep, but you come home to the peace and serenity of 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom and a lock-up garage.
Jeremy Rosens auctions in Hawthorne Road at 1:30 p.m. This fine-looking property.
Fabulous 2-storey town residence directly opposite the park and around the corner from one of my go-to cafes. The Spot, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, beautiful garden area.
Phil, 11 Balaclava Road, that block's always impressed me because not only is it well positioned in that situation just close to Hotham Street, but the apartments in that building are are oversized. Let's talk about number 9.
Gary, this is a lounge room, a dining room and a kitchen with a meals area, plus 3 bedrooms. Hard to find an apartment like that. And in a position like that, it should go really well.
And I have the auction honours of this lavish family entertainer, Philip, this beautiful home, quite a showcase property, 21 Merton Street, going up Sunday at 2:30 p.m.
Gary, you're lucky to do this auction. If I was here, I'd be fighting you to do it. 690 square metres of land, together with the most impressive family home, swimming pool, north-facing allotment of land, and of course Merton Street is really the most beautiful location.
Phil, we finish off well, that is a summary of all of our auctions, but we finish off reviewing these 2 properties. 25 Balaclava Road, what a massive parcel of land
Gary,
this home's on.
1,254 square metres of land, literally walking distance to Carlisle Street. I mean, that is, to get a parcel of land that large, let alone the house, is incredible. I reckon it's one of the most iconic 70s houses you'll see. And these houses are built like battleships, Gary. They're built to last. And I love that house in every possible way.
It really is built like a battleship, Phil. It'll be here long after we've gone and our grandchildren have gone, Phil. That is a home to celebrate and enjoy a large family home. I don't think it's ever been offered before. 6 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, I think it is, Phil. Lots of parking. Make sure you come and have a look at that property. Please speak to Darren Krongold and Joel Sir and their team. And Phil, 21 Polo Parade. Is there a better address? It's
Gary,
in the golden circle of Caulfield.
This is one of only 2 apartments. It's the entire ground floor. It all faces north. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It has a double lock-up garage. You can move straight into that home. It's almost impossible to get a single-storey apartment or villa in literally the epicentre of one of the best areas of Caulfield North. So completely fabulous.
That is a big wrap on GPTV. Lots of sales to review, lots of properties listings to review and talk about that are upcoming. It's an exciting time. We are going to be really busy right now until Easter. I think there's going to be a very, very big rush and surge of activity, and then there'll just be a little bit of a break, and it will be going right through again till winter.
And when it has a little bit of a break, Gary, I'm going to get out of town and I'm going to go on a break because I feel I need to replenish and recharge because 2022, Gary, is going to be, as it already is, the most exciting year in property. Absolutely. So we need to stay fresh, we need to stay focused, we need to stay pumped because we love what we do. And if you're thinking of selling, please give us a call. I'm Philip Kingston. Have a fabulous week.
I'm Gary Pearce. See you next week on GPTV.